Raider Nation? What's going on? It's Mitchell Renz, your host of the Raiders Report. And coming up on today's show, we're going to be looking at the best and worst games on the Las Vegas Raiders 2024 schedule. Yesterday, Jeremy Chugs and I, we put out our prediction video. We put out our schedule video. Very, very proud of our team here at Chat Sports for getting that schedule out 4 hours before the Raiders release theirs. That is why you hit that subscribe button, because we're putting out content way more than anybody else out there in the biz. And if you plan on watching every single Raiders game, David's on, my goodness. If you plan on watching every single Raiders game with us, I want you to hit that subscribe button. I'm serious, man. We're going to be going live every single game. I would love to be able to go to a tailgate. I would love to be able to go to Vegas or whatever city the Raiders play in. But my pledge to you is this. If I'm going to sit up here and say commitment to excellence, it means we're going to be live for every single Raiders game. And if you want to know what our Madden schedule is, you can see on the left, the team pictured is who we will be playing, like actually. And then the day in parentheses is when the plan is for us to go live here on the Raiders Report for our Madden simulation. Now, obviously, some of this stuff may change just due to, I don't know, Raiders signing a player. Like, I will cover that story instead of doing the Madden sim. Or if Jeremy gets sick, if I get sick, life happens. What I will promise you this, though, is the Madden schedule will be 100% complete before the Raiders' first preseason game, which is August 10th. So just something to note there. Another important thing to note here is these rankings, okay? Rankings, if you like my winners and losers videos that I do a lot, I think you're going to enjoy this show, are based off of the interest that I think Raider Nation will have in this game. Like, if it's a game that I'm like, dude, the nation's going to love that game, it's ranked a lot higher. If there's games where I'm like, I don't really know if the Raiders are all that interested in it, then it's ranked a little bit lower. I will say this, we're going to start with the worst games, and then we will go to the best games, and I have them ranked from 5 and working our way all the way down to 1. Let's go to the worst games here at number 5, Week 9, against the Cincinnati Bengals. And don't get me wrong, I am interested in this game because the last time the Raiders were in the playoffs, like, you went up against the Bengals, a little bit of a fluky late whistle call in there, and you're going up against Joe Burrow. But, like, the fact of the matter is the Raiders' schedule is stacked with games that I absolutely love, and I did have to find a few that, to me, were probably a little bit less interesting for the Silver and Black. Let's go to Week 4 here. It is Week 7 against the Los Angeles Rams, and I know this game's in SoFi. I know this game is in Los Angeles, and the reason why it's ranked number 4 here is because it's coming after a game like the Steelers, which I'm actually intrigued by that game. It's also right before the Kansas City Chiefs, and if you were to ask most Raider fans which game they're looking forward to more in LA, is it Week 1 against the Chargers, or is it Week 7 against the Rams? I would imagine more people say the Chargers, so because of that, I ended up putting this one as one of the worst games here for the nation. Let's go to Week 3 here, Week 11 at the Miami Dolphins, and I know that this is going to be a team that the Raiders are probably contending with to potentially make that wild card spot, but after the bye week, now if the Raiders, I will admit this, if the Raiders go out and they sign like a big-name guy, or they maybe not sign, trade for a big-name guy, because this is the game right after the NFL trade deadline, this answer totally changes. But if the Raiders do nothing at the NFL trade deadline, and then you got to go down to Miami again, I think that the interest in this one is just going to be a little bit lower. You know what? What'd you say? It's a 1 o'clock game on top of that. Yeah, I will say the Bengals game, 1 o'clock, Dolphins, 1 o'clock. A lot of these are 1 o'clock games. This one might surprise some people because it's technically the only primetime game for the Raiders. But the reason why this one makes my list is when you look at the back end of the Raiders schedule, right? It's a lot of games that will 100% impact the Raiders' ability to make the playoffs. And then the other game, Week 17, the Saints is, I mean, let's face it, it's the Saints. It's Derek Carr. And yes, it's Monday Night Football, but again, this game against the Falcons is probably the least important game on our schedule for the last 5 or 6 games, and that's the truth. Am I curious to see what Kirk Cousins, Michael Penix looks like? Yes, but in terms of, at the time of this game coming out, in terms of overall potential playoff impact, the Atlanta Falcons game is a little bit lower on the list. Coming up next, though, I'm going to tell you which is the least fun game on the Raiders schedule this season. You know what is fun? Chubbies. And I love companies that make me feel like me, where, what do I mean by that? The fact that I was wearing Chubbies way before they were on the show is one thing. On top of that, I got nice legs. I'm not afraid to admit that. I don't skip leg day. And also with summer right around the corner, I mean, Chubbies is perfect for that summertime feel. Sky's out, thighs out. Summer is right around the corner, and our friends at Chubbies are bringing the good vibrations. It's that good vibrations. Chubbies is a lifestyle apparel brand that makes every moment feel like a vacation. They say fashion is an expression of one's character, so why not let the world know you're down for a good time? And for a limited time, Chubbies is giving our listeners 20% off your order with our exclusive code CHAT. Use code CHAT at chubbyshorts.com/chat. Chubbies offers a variety of high-quality men's apparel, from super stretchy shorts and swim trunks and 3 short inseam links to pants, polos, button-down shirts for when you need to hit up your favorite weekend brunch spot. Embrace the spirit of endless summer with Chubbies, the ultimate destination for bold, vibrant, and outrageously comfortable clothing. I mean, you're seeing a lot of these pictures up on screen. Shout out to Mars, shout out to Trey, shout out to Chuck for pulling up on our Chubbies photo shoot day. But, like, this isn't one of those brands where I'm not even kidding y'all. Like, I'm not going to, like, blow smoke up your butt and just say that I love this brand. This is a brand that I do wear. It is a brand that I have had, like, their swimming trunks for a very, very long time. Like, some of y'all, Graf especially, used to poke fun at my Chubby shorts that I had back in, it's probably like 2018, 2019, like, when I used to wear a silver jacket on these shows. I had a picture, and I still have these shorts, they just don't fit me anymore, of, they were like white bathing trunks, and they had pineapples on them, and Graf would bust my balls because, I'm not going to lie, they would bust your own balls. But again, I got nice legs. I'm not afraid to wear them. If anybody wants to rock some Chubby stuff, you got some nice legs, don't be afraid to show them off. I'll tell you this, when I wear Chubby shorts, you know, we talk a lot about other sponsors here. Alex loves Chubbies, and she likes the shorts. Chugs is saying, yeah, she does. Chubbyshorts.com/chat. 20% off your purchase. That link's going to be available to y'all down in the comments, down in the description. I will say this, if you got a longs on, you might hang out of those Chubbies. Let's go to the worst game here on the schedule. It is Week 14 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Another game where I think back-to-back, when you look at the Raiders' schedule from top to bottom, the 2 games that are the least important games probably on your schedule are these games right here. Like Tampa Bay on the road, Baker Mayfield. It's just when you look at the fact that you got the Broncos game Week 12, you got your Week 13 games, the Chiefs. Week 11 is the Dolphins. And then Week 16 is the Jags. Then it's the Saints in Week 17. Week 18 is the Chargers. There's just a block of games there where I'm like, I don't give a shit about the Buccaneers game. So if you live down in Florida, you plan on going to this game, and it's at 1 o'clock, this is the worst game on the Raiders schedule. Coming up, though, let's talk about the best games. These are the games where, if you're like Mitch, I'm trying to go to a Raiders game this season. Which game should I go to? One of these games down here is which games that you should go to. If you want to be able to interact with Jeremy Chugs and I on social media, Twitter, Instagram, y'all know where to find me. I'm at Mitchell Renz 365. Chugs is at Jeremy Chugs. I know some people don't have Venmo. I know some people don't have abilities maybe to reach out to me if they win something, like, I don't know, a jersey or a boot. Give Jeremy a follow on both of those platforms. That way you can always claim your prizes. That's probably one of the best reasons to do it. And he's a good follow. Let's go to Week 5 here. Week 5. Number 5 of our best games for the Raiders. Week 3 against the Carolina Panthers. And the only reason that this made the list, because quite frankly, if this wasn't the Raiders home opener with Antonio Pierce, this might have been the worst game on the Raiders schedule. Like, it's an NFC game. It's just nothing there. But because it's the first time that we get to welcome in Antonio Pierce, we get to welcome in our Raiders team to Allegiant Stadium without Josh McDaniels, I want the nation to be rocking. I want Allegiant Stadium to be rocking. And because of that, this game has to make the list. Let's go to number 4 here. I got Week 6 on the road against the Denver Broncos. I thought about putting the other game at home against Denver, but then again, I'm thinking to myself, what do I want the most, right? And I would want, it's supposed to be we can go Week 5. It's Week 5 at Denver, so that's on me. Week 5 at Denver Week 6 is technically the Pittsburgh Steelers. But Week 5 at Denver is, what do I want the most? I want to see as many Broncos fans as upset as humanly possible. So the fact that we can go into Mile High, continue our winning streak, which the last time they beat us, and I'm just going to continue to say it every time I talk about the Broncos, the last time they beat us, December 29th, 2019, it's locked into my brain at this point. This is going to be the 9th time in a row that we beat the Denver Donkeys. And because of that, on the road, in Mile High, F-Bo Nix, Raiders get the dub. Let's go to number 3 here, Week 1 at the Chargers. Like, not only is it the Chargers, but it is Week 1. And I'm already looking forward to football season, man. Like, the fact that we got over 500 people here rocking with us live on our show, getting ready for our Madden simulation, tells me that I know I'm not the only Raiders fan that is like, the schedule's out, I'm ready for game day. If you told me right now the Raiders are playing in a week from now, sign me up. I'm ready to go. I'm ready for Raiders football, and because of that, this game makes the list. Let's go to number 2 here, Derek Carr. And I'll be real, if Derek doesn't play in this game, this is one of the worst games on the Raiders schedule because it is DC. And I will admit, if it's DC versus Aiden, the interest goes up a little bit. If it's Minshew versus DC, it might be a little bit lower than expected, but like, there's going to be probably some Raider fans rooting for Derek Carr in this game. I just want the Raiders to go in there, and I want them to just boat race the Saints. I'm talking putting up a crooked number, getting past the 50-yard line plenty of times. The second best game for Raiders fans is a road game, and it's because we're going up against Derek Carr. But I mean, like, come on, y'all. The number 1 game, the best game on the Raiders schedule this season, and I decided to go with Week 13 at Kansas City because of the Black Friday game, another primetime matchup. It's just because I want to embarrass the Kansas City Chiefs, and I want the whole world to watch again. Going home that night after the Raiders beat the Chiefs on Christmas, a game that nobody gave us a shot. There was even like me, I'm walking into work, I'm going, man, oh man, I don't know how we're going to beat Kansas City. But that night, being at home with my friends, my family during Christmas, waking up the next morning and just like being like, holy shit, they beat Kansas City. There is not a game that I want the Raiders to win more than Black Friday in Arrowhead against the Kansas City Chiefs. Sign me up, lock in and load. If you can win this game, you can beat any NFL team, and the amount of confidence that would bring would move freaking mountains for this organization. So let me know down below, which game is the best on the Raiders schedule this season? Yeah, we definitely left off, 7 other games in here, and I'm going to be excited for every game. I mean, if there is one thing I promise y'all, we're going to bring the energy every game day. There is not going to be another YouTube channel out there, YouTube, podcast, radio station. Nobody does what we do, and I'm confident in that ability to say that. But, what I love about the nation is the loyalty that y'all not only show Chugs and I, but the loyalty that you show this team, and being able to interact with y'all every single day, being able to interact with y'all on game day, it is unlike anything else. I am very, very proud of how far this YouTube channel has grown, and I'm very, very proud of just how much this team and this family has grown here on this channel, and game days are the perfect example of that. So hopefully you tune in for all the good, all the bad games here on the Raiders Report.